The Trump administration has asked the U.S. Supreme Court to clarify the scope of birthright citizenship for children born in the United States. Lower courts have previously blocked the administration's effort, citing the 14th Amendment, leaving the question unresolved. Trump contends that the 14th Amendment was originally intended to guarantee citizenship to formerly enslaved Americans, not to the children of undocumented immigrants or temporary visitors. The Supreme Court's earlier ruling limited federal judges' ability to issue nationwide injunctions, making it more difficult to block executive actions prematurely. Supporters of the administration argue that ensuring citizenship is guaranteed only to those lawfully entitled strengthens the integrity of U.S. citizenship. Chinese leader Xi Jinping is seeking to have the U.S. explicitly state opposition to Taiwan's independence as part of ongoing trade negotiations with President Trump. Beijing sees this shift from Washington's current does not support stance as critical to isolating Taiwan and strengthening Xi's domestic power. Trump has avoided clearly committing to military intervention if China attacks Taiwan, which Beijing perceives as a negotiating opportunity. The U.S. continues to maintain its One China policy and focus on deterring Chinese military action while encouraging Taiwan's self-defense. Analysts warn that China's persistent push for policy change could undermine Taiwan's confidence and increase Beijing's leverage over the island. Disney CEO Bob Iger faced intense backlash after suspending Jimmy Kimmel's show over a politically charged monologue criticizing MAGA supporters. Top Hollywood talent and over 400 celebrities protested, warning that the move could harm Disney's reputation and creative relationships. After a week of internal deliberations and public pressure, Disney reinstated Kimmel, emphasizing editorial independence while avoiding direct public commentary from Iger. The controversy highlights the delicate balance business leaders face under politically sensitive administrations, particularly during the Trump era. Iger's decision reflects ongoing tensions between free speech, government pressure, and corporate risk management at Disney. President Trump showed openness to providing Ukraine with powerful long-range weapons, signaling a stronger stance against Russian aggression. His willingness to reconsider restrictions marks a potential turning point in U.S. policy welcomed by Ukraine and European allies. Trump praised Ukraine's resilience and condemned Russia's war as aimless, reinforcing his support for Kyiv's fight for sovereignty. European leaders applauded Trump's decisiveness, calling him a game-changer in efforts to end the conflict. By keeping pressure on Russia while supplying NATO allies, Trump positions himself as both a supporter of peace and a firm defender of the West. President Trump demonstrated resolve by pushing through resistance in his administration to secure accountability against former FBI Director James Comey. Despite internal doubts about the strengths of the case, Trump urged the Justice Department to pursue justice vigorously, reflecting his consistency with how he himself was once treated. Attorney General Pam Bondi delivered results, winning a 2-count indictment that showcased Trump's commitment to holding powerful figures accountable. Supporters praised Trump for finally ensuring the Justice Department acted on his long-standing promises to root out corruption and misuse of power. Trump made clear he will not back down, signaling more indictments to come as part of his pledge to restore fairness and strengthen the rule of law. Former Vice President Kamala Harris' memoir, 107 Days, revisits her 2024 defeat with unusually blunt criticism of Joe Biden and fellow Democrats, raising questions about whether she is repairing her image or re-litigating old battles. The book's harsh tone has deepened Democratic divides, frustrating some allies who see it as self-indulgent rather than forward-looking. On her book tour, Harris has entertained applause urging her to run in 2028, but continues to avoid giving a clear answer, reinforcing her reputation for political ambiguity. Critics argue she still struggles to articulate firm convictions, while Harris portrays herself as a party leader and authentic truth teller. Despite her insistence that the book is just a personal account, its mix of grievances and self-justification leaves Democrats questioning whether she is preparing for a comeback or merely unable to move on. President Trump has taken a bold and assertive stance in Latin America, treating the region as vital to U.S. security and prosperity. His administration has strengthened ties with allies like Argentina's Javier Milei and El Salvador's Nayib Bukele, rewarding cooperation with economic and security benefits. By pressing adversaries with tariffs, sanctions, and military strikes, Trump has demonstrated a non-nonsense approach to combating drug trafficking and illegal migration. Key figures like Secretary of State Marco Rubio bring deep regional expertise, ensuring America's interests and prioritized after decades of neglect by prior administrations. Trump's unapologetic America First strategy has reasserted U.S. influence in the hemisphere and positioned Washington as a dominant force once again. President Trump's tough stance on Big Pharma has pushed companies to commit over $350 billion in U.S. manufacturing investments, boosting domestic jobs and production. His 100% tariff on firms that refuse to build plants in America ensures that global drug makers prioritize U.S. workers and patients. While Wall Street frets about uncertainty, Trump's policies are already proving effective in driving innovation and reshoring critical industries. His push to lower drug prices demonstrates a commitment to protecting American families from exploitative pricing practices. Even with market volatility, Trump's leadership signals long-term benefits for both patients and the U.S. economy. President Trump is taking decisive action to combat violent crime in Memphis by deploying federal agencies alongside local law enforcement. The FBI, DEA, ATF, and U.S. Marshals will work in a new task force to dismantle the city's drug trade and reduce violence. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee praised the administration's partnership, calling it the result of months of coordinated planning. The National Guard will provide critical support under Trump's direction, with costs covered by the federal government. Even Memphis Democratic mayor welcomed the effort, showing Trump's crackdown is gaining bipartisan support for safer communities. President Trump has set an ambitious goal of deporting 1 million illegal immigrants in his first year back in office, with his administration already reporting more than 400,000 removals. Federal data shows arrests and detentions have surged under Trump's leadership, demonstrating a strong start to his renewed immigration enforcement agenda. ICE reported making at least 137,000 arrests through July, while the detained population has climbed above 61,000, numbers not seen in years. Deportations are focused heavily on Mexico and Latin America, aligning with long-standing trends and reinforcing Trump's commitment to border security. Most deportees are men in their prime working years, underscoring Trump's message that his policies protect American jobs and strengthen the U.S. workforce.